And we're back here. It's the Fantasy Greeks NFL Draft Round 1 live coverage, part 2. We've reset the stream, and we are waiting anxiously for the Cincinnati Bengals pick here.
And the Bengals got a few things to do. We got our guy Jim Sarantis. He's going to be joining us here in just a minute. He's run this fantastic evening all night, man. Awesome people. I just grabbed a singular slice of pizza off the grill over there. It was pretty damn good, man. Let me tell you something. Goose Island really helped us out tonight. What a fantastic place to do stuff in terms of, Desmond Clark helping us out and the Chicago chapter of the NFL Alumni Association. Corbin Bryant, the Buffalo Bills. Zia's Lagos Vista on 3819 North Ashland. Potbelly's on Southport. Lagunitas Brewery. Also the Sports Authority, Chicago Athletics Club, and also Lucky's Sandwich Club on Clark Avenue, and Kirasira on Southport Avenue, and the Foundations of Music doing fantastic stuff for tons of people. 100% of classroom teachers were surveyed and reported that their students showed improvement in behavior and their general demeanor and attitude. And I think that's a big part of why it's such a big deal, at least for me, is, when you talk about, like I said, the lessons you can learn through playing football and through playing organized sports, you can learn those same lessons through organized music. And having those peoples in place really makes a big difference. But Roger Goodell right now, he's going to tell us a little about the Cincinnati Bengals and their pick. You're looking at defensive back, safety.
William Jackson III.
William Jackson of the third. You're looking cornerback here. Let me hear. What do you got here? Was this leaked out to you beforehand or no?
This was on Twitter, and now I'm getting multiple people calling, and I can't add them to the freaking group call. This is annoying. This is really annoying.
I don't know why it's being an issue tonight. I'm completely updated, and as are you, as I'm sure. Can you call Jim Sarantis at this point?
I'm trying.
Yeah,
I can't.
You try to do what you want to do. We're William Jackson III. I'm going to make everybody feel good about this, okay?
All right.
William Jackson III. He led the nation in passes defended in 2015 with 28. Has been on a steep and steady incline for the past 2 years. His evolution has revealed flashes of being a shutdown cornerback. Has a blend of size and downfield speed matched with top-tier ball skills. He has the strength to work and also may not be the most fluid mover, but has the upside that's just, man, it's impossible to ignore. But you're Keith Grieve. You're being the dark side. You're being the Sith. What's the bad news right here?
There's only one. There's only one bullet point here on William Jackson III. There are mental lapses on his tape, and motion in particular seemed to cause major issues for the Houston defense. Could translate to a bumpy transition learning a new defense at the next level.
Damn. Yeah, that's awesome. And I got a few other weak points on him. But I'm just looking at the fact that the Pittsburgh Steelers have already gotten in their pick. They were the first team not to screw around tonight and to say, you know what, we're getting our pick in right now. Everybody else has kind of lollygagged a little bit. And you're looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, early round targets. You're looking at second-tier cornerbacks, likely to have their choice. And Mackenzie Alexander. Eli Apple's already gone. Vernon Hargreaves, he's gone. And here's Goody. Oh, there he is. You got it. Artie Burns. Let me tell you a little about Artie Burns, cornerback. He is a man that started 23 games at Miami, earned second-team All-ACC honors in 2015, decided to enter the draft after his mother's death, after his son decided to enter the draft after his mother's death, as he has a son to provide for and is a legal guardian of two brothers. How about that? Stand-up guy right there. Has ideal measurables for a press cover corner, and as well as the versatility to line up at safety, has a physicality and the mentality to succeed at press corner at the next level, but we need to adjust to the NFL rules. There are a few places predicting him as a second and third round pick But he's going here. He's going here right in the first round. How do you feel about that, Keith?
Well, it's a position of need for the Steelers. The secondary has been an area of concern for a couple years now. They could have probably gone a couple different directions. They're a little inconsistent behind Antonio Brown at the wide receiver position, but given who's left on the board, I think this is a fantastic pick for them.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. All right, so we need to get our guy Jim Serentis on the radio here. What do you think? You want me to just pass it over or what?
Yeah, but I'm trying to.
Does that make life a little bit easier?
Yeah, I have no idea what's happening. I can't add him to the group call. Still can't add him to the group call. That's great. Broncos have traded up to this 26th overall pick.
Hey, Keith. Jim Serentis here.
Hello. How are we doing over there?
Doing okay. Just, taking in this draft, trying to get caught up here. There's some just pretty amazing picks. And certainly teams seem to have a pretty good sense of what they're looking for and what they're going after. I'm amazed by some of these moves. But you know what? That is the nature of the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, a number of reaches, in my opinion.
I'm sure there's going to be some things that once the dust settles, people have plenty to talk about, and coaches will have plenty to, they're going to have to explain.
Yep. And now we have I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, now we have a trade with the Broncos trading up
Yes.
to Seattle's pick. So we'll see what happens here. Can't imagine
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be for a quarterback. I don't know why they would. Oh my God, Dave Cromo. He's like, no.
He's got to be stressing out.
No, I think he already knows what the pick is, probably from Twitter or his other sources.
I haven't seen anything on Twitter yet.
And I don't want to know. I hate Twitter. This is when they should just shut it down.
Hey, you know what? This would be a nice pick for them to take a guy like Myles Jack and replace some of those linebackers they lost.
Yeah, I don't see them moving up for a quarterback.
Yeah,
I really don't. Because you got Green Bay, they don't want a quarterback. Chiefs don't want a quarterback. Arizona doesn't want a quarterback. Panthers don't want a quarterback. So you're only moving up because you're worried about some other position that could be at risk. In any case. So how the hell are you?
I'm great. How's the night going over there?
It's really fantastic. I don't know if Johnny had reported. We got done with our in-house raffle, which covers, you paid $50 and you got a whole bunch of things with. I mean, people walked out of here with a lot more in value than $50. And we were done with our live raffle, but there were items left over. So what we did was we decided to turning it into a betting session. I mean, we only had a couple T-shirts left, a few hats, and I think a book. We were able to raise, including some individual donations, over $600 just here tonight on the floor. So, yeah, I was just really... Somebody paid $100 for a T-shirt.
Oh, wow.
You believe that?
That's crazy. That's awesome, though.
It's crazy. I know. So, and it's not over, and it's quieted down now. Most people were Chicago Bears fans, so once that pick sort of settled in, it became fun.
Right.
How about the fall of Laramie Tunsil?
That's a joke. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. We were talking about it on the air. The Broncos apparently have picked Paxton Lynch.
Let's see.
Wow. Mike Kliss, I hope I'm saying that right, who covers the Broncos for 9 News in Denver, is reporting Paxton Lynch. They traded up to draft Paxton Lynch.
I can't believe that they traded up for that.
Now Joel Klatt from Fox Sports College Football and NFL Draft Analyst is reporting that as well. Wow. Jason McIntyre now. Paxton Lynch to Denver.
I'll tell you that John Elway, he's a guy tough to figure out.
Yeah, I don't understand why he felt the need to move up. I got to see what they gave up.
Oh, so hey, I've been handed some script. from Johnny, who, he comes well prepared for these things. You should see how this man is dressed. First of all, his hair is still amazing.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't doubt it. It's a big night.
I mean, it is true. I used to have hair like that when I was in college. Now, no. It's thinning. It's bald in spots. No one would take me seriously. Not that anybody does, but they really wouldn't take me seriously. But John, on the other hand, he's very commanding. People were like, oh, that Johnny over there. Oh. Men and women. So. Come on, Kmish. People still boo this man, and I just think it's hilarious. I mean, they know he's coming out, and the NFL knows he's coming out, and they boo him, and the NFL invite the booing. Here we go.
Yeah!
Did you hear that?
Holy crap.
Dave Crumlow. Oh, my God. Well, they moved up for him, and that means he is a starting quarterback.
Wow.
I mean, you don't pick a guy in the first round at quarterback and give him a clipboard and say, take it easy, kid.
So if you're a Broncos fan, in a matter of months, you've gone from Peyton Manning with confetti falling on him to trading up to get Paxton Lynch.
I should probably hand this over to Dave. He really needs to talk about it. He's tweeting. Hold on. Hey, Dave, when you're done.
Yes.
Did you hear him?
Celebrating.
He's like, yes.
Doing cartwheels right now.
A month ago, this could have been Dak Prescott, who, it's funny, if for even the people at home, if you notice this, if you did the NFL's mock draft, the competition, whatever, when you got to quarterback, one of the quarterbacks not listed in the selection was Dak Prescott, and I thought that was hilarious because I really think that people are underestimating what teams and scouts think of him. I think they think a lot more highly about him than the media is reporting, just like Laramie Tunsil. Ronnie Staley.
So now we have the Green Bay Packers on the clock, and they got to be loving life. They can choose between Reggie Ragland and Miles Jack.
My guess is going to be Reggie Ragland, but I could be wrong.
They need linebackers bad, and they basically...
They need inside linebackers bad.
Wow.
So I'll tell you, I was stunned about the Cowboys taking Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, I didn't really get that either. I mean, that's they're a team that has, like, their quarterback, you know who their quarterback is. You know who the big name wide receiver talent is. Yeah, you could get a top line running back, but behind that offensive line, you could put anybody behind that running back or behind that offensive line and run the ball. You didn't need to use that pick on Ezekiel Elliott, and it's got nothing to do with whether Elliott's worthy of that pick. It's got everything to do with, if you're the Cowboys, you're stacked on the O-line. You don't need to worry about that. Darren McFadden ran fantastic for you last year.
Yeah. I agree with you. I really thought, Joey Bosa would fall to him, and that didn't happen. And then I thought they'd go with DeForest Buckner, who I consider the number one non-quarterback talent in this draft, which, surprisingly, he ends up on the Niners. I mean, the Niners have just got to be loving life.
Right.
I mean, you're going to get not me, I think several people who are of the NFL scouting tree would say that he was the number one player on this board outside of quarterback, and to see him go to the Niners just, I think, is incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. Now, let's see, what did the Browns do? The Browns took Corey Coleman, which actually is a nice first pick because it's one of their top two areas of need.
Yep. This would be interesting.
So anyway, I'm supposed to read Paxton Lynch. Lightly recruited prospect out of Florida, started 38 games over his three-season career. Physically, he's got what it takes to be on an NFL team, arm strength, throw the deep ball accurately. He needs a little bit of time at the next level, however, to learn the pro system. And here from, I tried to watch as much as I could of all the quarterbacks, and Lynch was one of them that I wish I had a little bit more time. But in the two games I looked at, I will say he was either on or he wasn't. One game he looked like an NFL quarterback, and the other one I thought to myself, really? Why is everybody thinking he's so good? But, it's the Broncos, and I think if you're going to be a young quarterback in the NFL, you want to have Gary Kubiak as your coach because his system simply requires short to intermediate passes with the occasional deep pass. The Broncos. Yeah, Gary Kubiak. My bad. And on top of it, you've got two of the greatest wide receivers in the league on your team, so that's going to help. And you're going to have a top tight end talent, and you're going to have a couple of decent running backs. Now, I want to keep talking to you about this, but Dave is pacing, literally on a concrete floor, and he's digging into it. So I'm going to turn it over as soon as he heads in this way. Hold on.
Dave.
As usual, as always, it was a pleasure. I'm going to jump back in a little bit later, Keith.
All right, sounds good.
Okay. All right.
Here comes Dave.
All right. One of my people on the Bronco short list is a Bronco, and it happens to be at their biggest position in need, Paxton Lynch.
Yeah, do you like the Broncos trading up for that?
Yes, because reportedly the Chiefs were interested, and there were reports of the Browns and Cowboys wanting to trade back into the round one for that because the Cowboys reportedly loved him and the Browns reportedly loved him as well. So they had to make the jump.
All right, so you are a Paxton Lynch supporter. So
yes, he's got the potential to be the ideal Gary Kubiak quarterback. And a guy like him, along with a great defense, could keep the Broncos uber competitive for years to come. I'm not saying they're going to go back to the Super Bowl this year. That is a tall order to do, especially since Paxton Lynch likely needs a redshirt year to learn how to play from under center and learn how to make full field reads and stuff like that. But he is in the ideal situation with John Elway and Gary Kubiak watching his development, and this has the potential to maintain the Broncos' competitiveness. John Elway likes to say, I like to win now, but he also likes to win from now on. This was a win from now on pick.
So maybe you said it. I was reading my Twitter feed, trying to stay up on everything that's going on. But do you see Lynch starting this year or next year?
That depends. They might add another veteran to compete with Mark Sanchez to take Paxton Lynch along, and to give him another person to compete with, and to bring another veteran will bring him along slowly. That's what I meant. Sorry, I'm at a loss for words right now. So it wouldn't surprise me if he starts at the tail end of this season, but it also wouldn't be shocking if he starts at the midpoint of this season. But the ideal plan, I think, would be to redshirt him this year and to make sure he gets that he becomes the full-time starter in 2017. A very similar situation with Carson Wentz right now in Philly.
Okay. All right. So we're waiting for
the Packers.
The
27,
Packers,
I think they go a Reggie Ragland, a Jaron Reed, or an Andrew Billings here. Something to shore up the middle of that defense, especially against the run.
And the fact that it's taking so long makes me wonder who's trying to get back into the back end of the first round.
It could be Cleveland, it could be Dallas, or San Francisco, because San Francisco was interested reportedly in Connor Cook, so that's something to watch out for.
Oh, and so now all of the backroom whispers will be weighing on everybody.
Okay, here we go. Packers are picking. Here's the commish.
Wow, they went D tackle, Kenny Clark. Wow.
Kenny Clark from UCLA.
Wow.
He is going to probably be asked to replace B.J. Raji, and he was compared to Broncos, by Bleacher Report's the Broncos nose tackle Sylvester Williams. And Sylvester Williams, as we saw how he improved his play last year as a gap-shooting defensive tackle. And I don't know if that's what Don Capers wants, but if he wants to go to a more modernized Wade Phillips approach by bringing 4-3 concepts into the 3-4, then Kenny Clark will be a great pick.
All right. And ironically, Kenny Clark is the first defensive tackle picked by the Packers in the first round since B.J. Raji.
Yeah.
What he does
Yes,
best.
And you expect Ted Thompson to take two of those guys.
Yep. And
in this draft, because the Packers need as much beef up front as they possibly can get, and that is all I could say about the Packers pick. And any other questions?
No, that's it. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
All right. Kenny Clark, what he does best, he
You're lucky
plays
you
with.
got Johnny Boy back. Hang on, let me
Hey. Hello.
put my headphones on here. I've been tagged back.
All
Mr.
right.
Keith, how are things going with you, sir? Are you
Great.
surprised with this pick?
I am, because I thought for sure linebacker. I really
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, no, and that was something that kind of surprised me. It's one of those weird organizations where they're not run by I guess not owned by anyone specifically, but I'm looking at their needs right now. I'm looking at tight end. I'm looking at linebacker. The defensive line comes in there, and same thing with wide receiver. But man, it was just surprising to see them go this route with it.
Yeah.
And here we are. We got Kansas City's on the board now, and let me see if I got anything good or not to say about your boy here.
Now he's my boy all of a sudden.
Oh yeah, no, he's totally your boy, Kenny Clark. Here we go. Because we missed our guy Jim Wider. Oh man, this guy's dancing it up. All right, so we got Kenny Clark here, UCLA, 6'3", 310, very productive and active interior defender who shows the ability to beat blockers in a variety of ways. Has some freakish traits. Yeah, I don't know if you like that. I know Bob likes that. And shows potential to be an all-around playmaker. His ability to bend, punch, shed, and finish is sought after by every scheme in the league. That's pretty impressive. I think Cody would be even impressed by that. So all that's happening, and did not always play to his talent level. So there may be a need for some additional background checking here. Risky, high ceiling, low floor player. I kind of finished on a low note there. You got anything else to drive him into the ground and what a horrible pick this was for the Packers, even though they're fantastic drafters?
The dark side here. He can't get moved at times when looking for the ball in the run game. Double teams will move him off the spot. While he's good at seam blocks, he'll often retreat from the line of scrimmage to shed, opening up running lanes. Not great at shooting gaps, will get knocked off balance or blocked out of the play, and rarely creates pressure other than with the bull rush.
Bull rush, man, it's not comfortable for anybody. Anytime you get bull rushed, everybody in that situation is uncomfortable. I'm just gonna say that right out.
Bottom line, Clark is yet another strong interior defensive lineman in this loaded class. He differentiates himself by his development as a pass rusher last season, and that should give him an opportunity to move outside to a 3-4 defensive end role in the NFL.
Ooh, I'm going to break some news on you right here.
Here we go.
It's not an NFL draft, but the Hawks have defeated the Celtics 104-92 to advance to the Eastern Conference semifinals against the Cleveland Cavaliers. I really don't care about basketball at all. That's why we have Bob on the show. Bob's our basketball guy.
Well, the 49ers are on the clock.
49ers.
They've traded back up into the first round.
What the hell just happened? I'm all screwed up. My notes are all screwed now. The Niners moved up?
The Niners moved up. Traded with the Kansas City Chiefs.
What are the Chiefs doing?
San Francisco is now on the clock. I'm trying to find the terms of the said trade.
Man, I feel like KC just screwed themselves. That was a team. I mean, they had some issues. You know, you get Connor Cook. Oh man,
Cook, huh?
David Cromwell is screaming Connor Cook right now. Going to San Francisco.
49ers are traded up for Chiefs. Have to think it's Connor Cook, which probably means Panthers won't be trading back with anyone. That's from Joe Person, who is the Carolina Panthers beat writer.
And what did he say? I missed all that.
They've traded up. 49ers have traded up for Chiefs pick. Have to think it's Connor Cook. So he's the next quarterback up, right?
Pick is in, yeah, I guess. I mean,
so not only 3 quarterbacks taken, but
are you giving up on Colin Kaepernick already?
It's not really already. I mean, it's pretty clear that Jim Harbaugh was the key to that guy's success.
Yeah, I guess. Boo earns. I just hate to see a guy lose his back end that quick. You know what I mean? He wasn't around all that long and was relatively successful. You know.
What's that? Say that again.
No, I was just saying, Colin Kaepernick, relatively successful guy. You know what I mean? It seemed like they had the right idea for him.
He had,
if it's a schematic thing, I mean, I guess that's what it is.
He had a year and a half of productive football. That's what it comes down to. The 49ers shot themselves in the foot by pushing away Jim Harbaugh. It's that simple.
Well, no kidding. Trent Baalke ruined that thing real quick.
Oh my God!
But I mean, for obvious reasons, you know what I mean. I mean, Harbaugh, he is his own guy. I mean, that's the way that's going to work.
The 49ers, at the cost of a 4th rounder and 6th rounder, trade up to select Stanford guard Joshua Garnett at number 28.
What?
That's from Ian Rappaport. Oh, dear God.
So who am I looking up to say good things about right now?
Joshua Garnett, offensive guard.
Wow. All right. Okay. He's actually top of my guards list with one of these lists that I'm looking at. Let me tell you a little something about Joshua Garnett out of Stanford. This man, he was a senior, 6'5", 317 pounds, 2-year starter, a team captain for the Cardinal, a typical Stanford interior blocker with elite run blocking ability who lacks the essential footwork and pass protection. Well, that sucks. You don't want to hear that. But Garnett, he'll show flashes of dominance when he can fire out of his stance and in run block. Has overwhelming power presence when he gets his hands locked on, and the issues arise when he is asked to adjust to speed rushers and move in space. Needs time to refine his mechanics, but he has a natural ability to become a starter in the NFL within his first few years. Now let's get evil with it. What you got, boy?
Hold on one second, because the screen went blank. There we go.
Because he got a stick for it.
Struggles with backside cutoffs in zone may limit him from scheme standpoint. Can struggle with power at the point of attack at times. Got handled by better competition, namely Oregon's DeForest Buckner.
Never want to get handled.
Doesn't always sustain blocks and pass protection. Gave up more pressures than you'd like to see, even if it was later in the play. And can be late to recognize stunts and twists. That sounds like a guy I want to trade up for.
Oh, absolutely.
Dear.
That's like a Cleveland Browns pick.
The Arizona Cardinals are now
Does he
on
smoke
the clock.
weed? Is he fat? Does this fit?
Who knows?
Is he completely defunct?
Who knows? We got Arizona, Carolina, and, Denver traded. So it's got to be Seattle.
So Kansas City quits on the first round. Is that what I just heard?
Unless they're going to trade back in.
Wow. And I was concerned. That was the one as I'm shuffling through my papers, right, and get everything in order early, like before the show started. I was like, oh my God, where did KC go? And like my papers, somehow they got stuck a staple, caught to another staple, and I missed it, and then I went back and I found it, and I was like, oh my God, thank God I found my KC news, because I'm gonna have to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. And then they just traded out of the first round. All right. So where's New England on all this? They don't want a first-round pick? They can't trade back into it at some point? Nobody wants to play with them?
They're done. Apparently, according to Ed Werder, the Cowboys made an attempt to trade back into the first round so they could take Paxton Lynch. But couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
That's all right. That was a playful effort. 'Cause, you really don't want Paxton Lynch. You know what I mean? I mean, honestly, if you're going to be looking at this in terms of you already got Tony Romo. I got Chromo over here.
Oh boy.
No, I'm not trashing your homeboy.
I'll trash Kaepernick.
Oh, he is now. He is now, right?
He's a redshirt year. I said that, so I wasn't being a total homer.
Yeah, but I'm saying I'm not going to go out of my way and trade up if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, because apparently Keith was telling me that the Cowboys were trying to trade back into the first round to get him.
Tony Romo would have stayed last, but they already took his insurance. Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott was Tony Romo.
Oh, no, but he's not, though. You need a quarterback. That was the reason why the Cowboys sucked last year. You know what I mean? Is that they had him, they tried Brandon Whedon, they tried a bunch of other guys, and they all sucked. It was like, yeah, they were serviceable. You know what I mean? But you got that offensive line. You got all that time to throw the football, and they couldn't find anybody that could do it. You know, and that's the biggest knock for me, at least from their perspective, is that, you know, you couldn't find another quarterback that could get the job done. I mean, you're the damn Cowboys. You know what I mean, right?
Theoretically.
Where's Jimmy Johnson? I'm sure he's screaming from a mountaintop somewhere right now.
Alongside Barry Switzer.
What's that?
Alongside Barry Switzer.
Ooh, Barry Switzer.
And,
I miss those guys. The silver hair and like the silver and blue and the white. Man, I don't know what it is about the Cowboys, but
the Cardinals are going to take him DJ.
You think?
That's been it's being reported by Joel Klatt from Fox
Ooh.
Sports College Football and NFL Draft Analyst.
It's a long name.
Yeah, huh. Good luck spelling it.
I know there's like a D and a K and an N, like all within like short distance.
Good luck.
Blah, 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 blah.
So
Well, let me tell you,
Miles Jack continues to fall down this board.
did you see his fat ass face?
No, I did not.
I'm sorry. It's one of those when it comes down to the draft, and you just see. Why am I hearing myself?
I don't know. You're cutting in and out pretty bad.
All right. Well, how about I do this? Does this sound a little bit better?
Yeah, you do actually.
All right, cool. Anyways, they were showing Mal Jack's face, and he's just hanging his head in his hands, and that's got to be the suckiest feeling, like in life. Like, yeah, sure, here you are, you're gonna get drafted at some point. If you're projected in the first round, you're invited to the draft. At some point, somebody's gonna draft you, and life's gonna be fine. But just to like experience that embarrassing moment where, you know, you're waiting for somebody to call your name. It just never comes, and you got the invite. Meanwhile, you know, you got guys like Paxton Lynch. He's hanging out with his family right now, just like, oh man, I didn't even get an invite. All right, well, cool. No, that's great. I got drafted.
Before
There
some
he
of these
is.
kids.
Robert Necamdiche. Don't fall off a balcony. He is incredible versatility athlete who scored touchdowns, rushing and receiving for the Rebels in 2015. Can fit into any scheme. His pop at the point of attack can control the blocker, and his phone booth athleticism can be hard for an opponent to control. Talent-wise, he is as good as it gets. Was suspended at the end of 2015 for marijuana possession and has some other off-field concerns that might need extra investigation. His elite talents, but the questions off the field are something to note. So, what is a negatore? Mr. Robert Necamdiche.
Struggles overall in the run game, will get destroyed by double teams. Was better against the run in 2015, but still a huge question mark compared to other interior defensive linemen. Can run right at him, may never hold up as an every down interior defensive lineman, and struggles to disengage in the run game if he doesn't win with initial quickness. And was a disruptive pass rusher, but has to finish better and turn pressures into sacks. One of the best interior pass rushers in the class, and that one skill may up his value. He's not best suited to be an every down interior player, but making some of his run game deficiencies at defensive end while kicking him inside to rush the passer is likely his best fit to maximize his skill set. That according to the Pro Football Focus draft guide.
Meh. It works for me. I mean, defensive tackle wise, you know, you look at what Arizona's done in past years. Ed Stinson, 2014, round 5. Still hasn't shown the consistency that they need. 2015, they spent a round 4 pick on Rodney Gunter. They like what they got there. Frosty Rucker, solid guy, not spectacular at defensive end. And also 2015, the number 1 tackler on the defensive line with 5 sacks. was Calais Campbell. Desperately needed to develop somebody on that D line because they really haven't had an elite pass rusher since 2013 with John Abrams. Not a bad pick in my mind. You know what I mean? I think it's a guy that has the talent there. Obviously, it comes with his fair share of flags, but generally considering, no, I think he's worth it. He's a pretty quick dude. Looking at his highlights right now, man, it's gonna impress you.
Well, we shall see. Reggie Ragland and Miles Jack dropping to the end of the first round.
Yeah, how would you like to be one of those two guys right now?
Well, it happens. I mean, some of these guys picked
it happens
above.
every year.
Some of these guys picked above them are going to flame out. Absolutely.
Well, hey, the Carolina Panthers. Let me tell you something. They might be a nice fit for one of those guys right there.
In our mock draft, we drafted Kevin Dodd from Clemson.
That happened?
In the mock draft, yes. You picked him, actually.
Yeah, no, I picked that, and I got crucified for it.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Yeah, no, that's all right. That's all right. That was one of those things. It was across a bunch of draft boards, and I wasn't, I guess, actively following, who was left on the board at those points. But generally speaking, fits a need. When you're looking at Carolina, their defensive line, looking for an injection of youth, talent inside. They got Starla Lotule, also Quan Short. As good as they are, it's about as good as they come. But DeJuan Edwards, solid veteran reserve for him at the defensive end spot. Need to get a little bit cheaper, a little bit younger. Charles Johnson, turning 30 in the summer. Jared Allen, long in the tooth, expensive. I do believe he retired. And then you also got Johnny Ely. Isn't necessarily an upgrade over Alexander, so there's still some things there because Frank Alexander, that's a guy. He's a defensive end. End of the year on IR, and is now a free agent. That's a situation where you got a spot to upgrade there. You know what I mean? So I would be cool with Kevin Dodd. That was a big pick for me, and kind of went that way. But when you look at defensive back, Eunice was hit hard. Especially after the free agents. Defection that they dealt with in 2014. In terms of cornerback, they need another guy outside of Josh Norman. Josh Norman's gone now. And so, Charles Tillman's gone. Josh Norman's gone. Beanie Bill Walkery, he ended the season on IR, after having a pretty good 14 season. Roman Harper, he's a free agent. Kurt Coleman, a solid veteran guy, but not elite. Trey Boston, could play maybe a bigger role next season, but that safety position, cornerback position, and anywhere along that defensive line is just an issue right now when you're looking for Carolina.
Oh, the Panthers are taking Louisiana Tech defensive tackle Vernon Butler.
Vernon? Mm-hmm.
Which ironically is the second Vernon taken in the first round. I don't know what the stats are for that, but...
Oh, yeah, no, that's a good one. That was like Shaq. Last year we had a bunch of Shaqs, and this year we had a bunch of Shaqs. Shaq's been a really popular name last several years.
There's two people. Who else?
Shaquille O'Neal, we can only give him credit for that, right?
Oh, yeah, but who are the other ones? You said they were popular, so there would have to be more than two.
Oh, I don't know the other names. I'm just going to say I remember that.
Yeah, but that's popular. Two people is popular.
Oh, no, there's way more than two. No, you can check it out. I had stats last year. No, there's a few. You can sell Shaq any way you want. There's a bunch of ways to sell Shaq.
This is, the name that I kind of went off the wall with on our mock draft, and I picked Hunter Henry to go to the Raiders. If he's hanging around when the Bears come around to pick, that might be a second. That might be a second round pick right there.
Oh, my God, they better. They need a tight end so badly. I'm telling you, and that's the thing, and that's what I like Ryan Pace and what he's done with the Bears is that, I feel like he has a good idea as to what the team needs and how to address those needs. And so that's why I'm going to give him the credit, you know what I mean, and just kind of go with whatever he wants to go with right now. I mean, we dealt with the Phil Emery deal. And the previous regime, that was several years of just inability to draft. That was the biggest thing that put them behind the eight ball in terms of the difference between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers is that they weren't able to draft. I mean, Detroit is still struggling with that. They went and restructured their entire front office. It looks like they're going to hang out onto their coaching staff at this point. But overall, I mean that is why the Bears are so far behind. That's why the Chicago White Sox are so far behind. You look at what the Chicago Cubs did. That's a team that knows how to draft, knows how to self-evaluate, and that's probably the hardest thing, regardless of sports, is just being able to realize how to self-evaluate and realize, what guys might be able to, develop into, and where their actual ceiling is at, and determining what that's going to be, and where enough is going to be enough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you buy that or not. I do, just because like I said, as a huge baseball guy, I've seen everything the Cubs have done, and nothing could be more impressive of what they put together in the last 3 years here. You know what I mean? And I look at the White Sox, and it's two completely different approaches in terms of how to build a ball club, and it's very similar, when it comes down to football, and just, I mean, you look at all the guys involved in football, especially compared to baseball or basketball or any other professional sport. There's so many different people involved, and so many different talents that you need to recognize, where it just becomes way more difficult. It's such a huge team sport. The Panthers, looks like their selection is in. Here comes Goody. What you got for us, bad boy? Of course they do, because he has the ability to go with the tenacious style of the play to be a dominating force. Vernon Butler out of Louisiana Tech. Easy and natural size and power with surprising ability to move. Can pursue hard laterally. Ooh, yeah. As a girl, I'd be impressed about that. But
Easy.
He makes plays away from the line of scrimmage, but also will control the inside gaps. That's my specialty. With his overwhelming power presence, his upside is as high as any defensive tackle in this class. Fits into multiple schemes as a starter right now. Boom. Vernon Butler. What you got, boy?
Really?
I don't know.
Biggest concerns for Mr. Butler. Not always looking to anchor, can lose his gap in the run game, struggles to shed and find the ball when losing on initial contact, sealed by both single and double teams more often than others in the class, doesn't play like he's listed at 325 pounds. Only one good year of productivity as a pass rusher may be limited at the next level. The bottom line, Butler has the tools to be a good NFL run defender, most likely as a 3-4 defensive end. While he's listed at 325 pounds, he doesn't play like a prototypical nose tackle, as his game is more about length disruption than anchoring down at the line of scrimmage.
You got an anchor.
Yeah, huh. So that means we're down to the final pick of the first round, the Seattle Seahawks, via the trade.
Their pick's already in. They already know what's going on.
Well, they traded down, so in the first round we had.
They do whoever they want. You say, yeah, no, bro, you're not good enough. You'll still be there at the last pick. Don't worry about it.
We have mocked Jason Spriggs, offensive tackle.
You think? Is that where they're going? Is that what you read?
That's what we mocked on Monday.
That girl that was just singing that song. That's. Did you hear that song?
Oh, Danny Kelly is saying it's an offensive lineman. Who will it be?
Uh-oh.
So far we have 5.
Gone.
So far we have.
Stanley's gone, right? Oh, sorry. I keep talking over you. Go ahead.
So far we've had 5 correct picks as far as matching up players to teams from our mock draft.
Pretty good.
It's counting the Paxton Lynch to Denver, even though we didn't predict any trades.
Still, I don't know how that happened.
So the 5 that we had were Goff and Wentz, Jalen Ramsey to the Jaguars, Sheldon Rankins to the Saints, and Paxton Lynch So now, if this is right, it'll give us 6 out of 31.
Didn't I pick my guy Jack Conklin somewhere? I felt like I had a chance to pick him. And I
You picked him. Sammy picked him to go to the Titans,
bastard.
and he ended
He
up
just
going.
reached out to me. He might be calling into us.
Oh wait, you know what? Jack Conklin, did go to the Titans. They just traded up to get him, so we're going to count that.
See, boom,
As a
we're better
correct
than you
one.
thought.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now.
We rock. We're really good at what we do.
Yeah,
Did you
we're
know
all
that?
right. I want the 7th now. I want 7. There's almost 20%. That's what I want.
20%'s the best.
Is it though?
Yeah, if you're looking at anything underneath 19. See, I got you.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate it.
All right, Seattle Seahawks. What the hell did they do? Why are they there?
You said you already got the. You said that the
Oh, they
pick was
traded with
already
the
in.
Broncos.
Yeah, they traded with the Broncos. The pick that the Broncos used to take Paxton Lynch because they got wind of all of the people trying to trade back into the second round, which the only one confirmed is Dallas.
I'm going to get controversial with you here.
Here we go.
Okay. Don't kill me.
I make no promises.
Did anything stand out to you about the announcement in which Paxton Lynch was announced as the pick?
No.
When they shot to the footage of him hanging out?
Oh, I didn't. I didn't watch it because I'm on such a delay with the internet. I shut it off.
I feel like there's a hot topic there. What is it? Is this Lou Gehrig's final speech?
Yeah,
Is he
right.
retired?
All kinds of
Sounds like it.
echo.
Yes, here it is. They're showing it right now. I'm looking to see if you can see it now.
So let's see. I don't have it on.
Oh, okay. I feel like there's something Paxton Lynch isn't open about, if you would say, which is now kind of coming to the front, to the foreground.
Like what?
I don't know. It's just body mannerisms, I guess.
What on earth could you be talking to? Offensive tackle Jermaine Ifedi.
Oh, Ifedi.
Yep.
Not Ifedi. It's
No.
Ifedi. That's a guy from Texas A&M, and he has jumped up the boards last couple of weeks because a lot of things I was seeing, he's a 4th or 5th round pick. But overall, you're looking at Jermaine Ifedi from Texas A&M, 6'6", 335. He was a junior last year, played right guard, both tackle spots for the Aggies. Started his career off hot, earning freshman All-American honors in 2013, but failed to make the next step. His frame and overall ability to move could make a lot of coaches dream about an elite upside, but in the end, Ifedi has proven to be an underachiever time and time again. He can be a quality backup initially, who will need to really apply himself on and off the field if he wants to be anything more.
All right. His long arms are doing him no favors at the moment. Lacks any ability to latch on and maintain a block. Hand placement is a mess. Change of direction is so poor. Was exposed in pass protection this past season, where he graded negatively. Had no chance against any sort of quickness. Plays so hunched over, leads to his hands flying out too wide and poor balance. Was left waving at linebackers at the second level far too often. Bottom line, people will fall in love with his NFL frame, but his technique isn't close to an NFL level yet. It will take him a handful of years to get to there if he ever does. Wow.
So what made him jump so high?
I don't know. He must know. He's got dirty pictures of Pete Carroll doing something, maybe. I don't know.
Laramie Tunsil's going, what the fuck?
It makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah. No, I don't know, man. That is certainly a trip. That works, though. You know what I mean? Because they're talking about round 2 right now. I mean, we ain't there yet, but we won't be talking that long, thank God. But no, that's quite something. No, I was pretty surprised with that pick, actually. I was just honestly, I was shocked KC dropped out of the first round.
Yeah, they're not a team that I thought could stand to go without the pick, but we'll have to see what they got out on the backside of that, and maybe they'll turn it into something. But they're a team that they're very middle of the road, and they don't play like they're middle of the road. But when you look at their roster, they're just a lot of blah spots on that roster, and for them to be giving up a pick, I don't know. Maybe they know what they're doing, but
you think Andy Reid's there? John Downey or Dorsey, he's still the guy there. Making roster decisions, but still, that's something where I just wouldn't expect them to drop down at that point.
Yep, I agree.
Well,
what
the hell
ever. We're out of time. Sammy's trying to call, but Skype is not working tonight, so we're gonna have to
drop his ass. That's all right. We love Sammy Bissett. We're going to be talking. We'll bring him out next week. What do you think about that next Thursday? We'll talk to Sammy Bissett.
I'm saying Monday night on Keith Grieve show, we get all the mock drafters together to rehash the draft.
Oh my God, I would love that.
Yeah, so
that sounds like a fantastic idea.
All right, emails coming out, everybody. But on that note, the first round is in the books. We had some reaches, some surprises, some disappointments, quite frankly. And we are out of time. Almost what? We were on the air for what? 3 or 4 hours? Woo! For John Dolores from 87sportsfans.com and Jim Serantias, the Fantasy Greek himself from thefantasygreek.com. I'm Keith Grieve, also from 87sportsfans.com. Check out all of our shows on LateNightSportsRadio.com. Monday or Sunday, we'll be back with the Bob Sullivan Show at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a fantastic night, everybody.